They were doing a routine job, one that most crews do many times a year. It was a new construction project that had elements of new structures, new wires, taking off of existing structures that they had updated that day, and accident happened shortly after the noon hour as they came back to work. There is some pretty firm speculation as to what we believe happened that day. Ronnie made contact with 7,200 volts that went from phase to ground, did go across his body, and it seems that he probably lost his life instantaneously when he made contact. There were 5 total crew members. The crew foreman, Ronnie, was the lead lineman on the crew. And if memory serves me correctly, there were 2 apprentices and an equipment operator, a digger operator, which is a typical crew for that cooperative. Probably fairly average for most average size cooperatives in our state at least. They were there on scene when I arrived. They were directly involved in the response to the contact and his rescue and recovery from the point of contact. I don't know that anyone that hasn't lived directly in their shoes can explain it. I'm a third party looking in at them, as I wasn't there and wasn't a part of that daily crew. I think it'd be hard for me to understand what they're going through. I have an idea, of course. Safety's got to be their top priority every time, without exception, or they may not go home safe that night to their family. If they let their guard down one time, we talk about the term shortcuts. We all tend to take shortcuts. Even if it's walking on a sidewalk that takes a turn and there's a nice patch of grass that makes it closer, we tend to cut across the grass. It's no different than taking a shortcut of something done easier because I don't put a piece of safety gear on to save a little time, because it's too hot, because it's too cold, or whatever reason we want to put there. These guys have to do it right every time, or their risk goes up because of that shortcut. And the guys in my co-op probably get tired of me hearing of me saying that. But repetition is key.
I was on my lunch hour at work on a Thursday, and I got a phone call, and it was Brent Harton, who was the CEO at REA at the time, and he told me that Ronnie had been in an accident. And he asked me where I was, and when I told him, he said, "Could I get back to the office okay?" And I told him yes. And he said someone from REA would come and get me. Oddly enough, Ronnie had always told me what protocol was, I guess to prepare me. He enjoyed it. He loved his job. He loved his job more than anything. He wouldn't have given it up no matter what. He'd do it all over again, even knowing the outcome. It's not something I ever thought would happen. I knew that there was a possibility that he could be hurt. I always knew there was that chance. But I never thought that he could, it just never dawned on me that he could be gone for good. I thought we had years and years ahead of us together. We had plans. We were supposed to go on a cruise the next month. Yeah. We had a granddaughter born the week before this. So many of the community knew him, liked him, loved him. It was hard to believe that something like this would happen. I know that Ronnie was safe. He was a safe lineman. He took precautions. I know he was. I heard too many of them say that he was one of the safest ones that they had. I know how careful he was. Safety was a big issue with him. He wanted to make sure that everything stayed safe, and I think that's why I always knew that he was safe, because he talked about it so much and that he took safety precautions. He wanted to make sure that the guys he worked with returned home and that nothing happened. It just doesn't always work out that way. Stay focused, 100%, even on the hard days, the hard times. Even if it's 105 degrees and you're sweaty and you've been out there for 5 or 6 hours solid, please stay focused. Don't think about what you're going to do later tonight. Don't think about what you're going to do this weekend. Stay focused so you can go home.